So I decided to dig out my A-level computer science project, which dates back to 2020. So originally I wanted to make a game sort of like Astroneer. I had created an astronaut and everything, but Unity being Unity, then I lost my progress on that project. I started looking into what I needed to create editable terrain, so I found this video called Brackeys that showed you how to make meshes from triangles then terrain. This only went as far as making flat terrain with height maps, and I needed more flexibility. I came across Sebastian's video where he was using HLSL, and my small brain couldn't be bothered to learn a new language. This put me in the right direction, which was the Marching Cubes algorithm. So I found this PDF which had a pretty good explanation as some code in C++, which was close enough to C# so I could understand it, and I implemented it. I will leave a link to this in the description, but essentially how it works is by taking a scalar field and constructing an ISO surface at a specific ISO level, density, or whatever term you want to use to describe it. With a few tweaks and modifications to the initial concept, I had a working mesh generator, but at this stage, after suffering all the pain to create this, I kind of lost my motivation to make games, and I still needed to make a convincing project. I thought it would be pretty hard to pull off a game at this stage, considering that I needed to do a write-up which involved research, talking about stakeholders, and all that waffle which ends up taking 10 times longer than the actual programming. So when I stumbled across the medical applications of the Marching Cubes algorithm, I thought it was as though the stars had aligned, less work, and the outcome seemed more meaningful. With my original plan of making destructible terrain still in mind, I set out to make the generated geometry editable. Making it editable while also trying to not have Unity crash proved difficult. It required the implementation of chunks. This way, the computer split the mesh up into chunks for editing, meaning you only had to update a specific chunk that you were editing rather than the entire mesh. I then shoot a ray at the camera, and whether the ray hit is what would be updated, as well as the surrounding chunks. I could definitely make this one smoother by using HLSL and making use of my computer's graphics card, but that sounded like too much effort. So next I wanted to make this actually useful. I got a bunch of MRI scans, CT scans, clumped them all into arrays, matching the density to the brightness of pixels in the image. Bright pixels were treated like human tissues and dark pixels treated like air. Then I just constructed a boundary between the materials, let the Marching Cubes algorithm run its magic, and after many crashes, these were the results. So these scenes are actually rendered in Blender because Unity is ugly as hell. I can export the files to your standard 3D format, and that actually means I can 3D print them, but that requires some cleaning up which I've been too late to do. Could be a future video though, who knows. If you want me to release the project files, I'm going to need 100 likes because I'm going to need some serious motivation to make this thing more user friendly. If you want a tutorial series, I'm also going to need you to press that like button. I mean, just opening up Unity to try and get this project up and running was bad enough. And with that, I'm finally ready to say goodbye to Unity for now, and goodbye to you guys. Peace.